Is there no beans in that burrito?
No.
No beans. Or
No.
no rice.
No. Beans and rice do not belong in a burrito. I'll die on that hill.
I disagree.
First
I think
of
it's
all,
not a burrito
so,
without beans and rice.
no. Well, I don't know what to tell you because you're wrong.
So
it
it's so
doesn't.
important because it soaks up all the liquids.
Yeah. Well, stay out of San Diego, I suppose.
Welcome to Whip Cream Salmon, show where we talk about all things food, friends, and fuckery. I'm your host, Brian Bastanza. I am joined, as always, with my co-host, Ronnie Sanchez. Ronnie, how the hell are you, dude?
Hello. I'm doing good.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. Oh, no, it's Buenos
Do you know-
noches.
Buenos noches. See. Do you know that today is a very special day?
Because we're living in the present and every day is a gift.
Oh my God, you read my mind.
Really?
That and today's National Taco Day. Did you know that?
I had tacos for dinner.
You did?
Did you know that? Yeah, I did. Sure did.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That is what's up.
Rochelle made some tacos.
Nice. Did she know?
All right. Maybe we felt it. Maybe she just felt it.
Oh, you just like absorbed it.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, every day is taco day in my heart.
I love that. I love that for you.
Do you do tacos?
I had tacos twice today because, we're celebrating.
Okay.
Yeah, I had
a breakfast burrito and then tacos. So I did.
That's like a kind of like a taco. A burry?
Yeah, it's like
love a good burry.
Yeah, big brother.
Nice. Yeah, I went out with some coworkers to a Mexican restaurant for lunch today.
Okay.
And I got some like true white boy, like beef hard shelled tacos.
Okay.
Which is like, dude, I feel like I haven't had those since I was like my mom made them when I was like 12 or something.
There's definitely a place in my heart for gringo tacos for sure. For
sure. Like, and I've definitely had Taco Bell like over the years from time to time, but like, and that is a true gringo taco, but this was like a really good one with like good like cheddar cheese on top and nicely spiced ground beef, and it was really good. And yeah, we had a pretty good time doing that. And then I was just so inspired. I just got done making some tacos for dinner. So kind of inspired actually from our last conversation where we were talking about just kind of simple tacos.
Right.
I did make a slaw. I had some cabbage. So I had like a cabbage. I had some shishitas from the garden, some red onion, some lime juice. And that was kind of like a little quick slaw. I had a little beef that was in the fridge, a little kind of mini like steak.
Mm-hmm.
Little sirloin, like one of those little packets, probably a 6-ouncer. And I cut that in half long ways, like thin it out, a little asada style.
Okay.
And then marinated that with some lime juice, onion, cilantro, a little soy, garlic, a little minced up garlic.
Solid. While
I was preparing the rest of the meal, which I made some tacos. I made some tortillas.
Oh, you made the tortillas?
Yeah.
Do you have a press?
No.
Nope. You roll them?
Okay. No, I just roll them out. I had an OG like wine bottle that was sitting around. I just used that, and yeah, they were pretty good.
You filthy Italian.
Yeah, I put some fucking, I put some olive oil in that tortilla dough, like a real guapo.
Of course, ran a little through your hair.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. But those were really good, and yeah, I often make them like too big. It's really easy when you're going for. It's just such a little tiny like pinhead to make an actual proper like
Tortilla.
4-inch tiny taco. But this time I kind of nailed them. A couple of them are maybe 5 inches, but most of them are kind of spot on, like 4-inch
Dope.
little rounds. They're tiny. They're probably, I didn't weigh them. I was moving like pretty quickly. It's probably like an ounce and a little bit is like, I don't know. It's probably like
Okay.
500 grams of ingredients, and it turned into 30 tortillas, maybe.
Okay. That's a lot.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, fire. A little
Oh,
lime
yeah.
on top, a little onion and cilantro, and yeah.
I also made tacos at work last week, and there's this like Mexican slaw that I actually learned from Eddie at PJ's.
Okay.
But you really thinly slice onions and then toss them with. You could like shave like carrots or um, radishes. Throw in some chilies if you want, like jalapenos or serranos. Optional. Everything is like super super thinly sliced, and then squeeze in a solid amount of lime, toss in some oregano and salt, and just kind of like let that marry for at least like a half hour. Kind of like really get in there into the onions to like let the salt kind of like pull out all the moisture,
Sure.
and then you just have this like pickled Mexican, like quick pickled Mexican slaw. It's so good, dude.
Fuck yeah.
I absolutely love that.
Dude, Eddie's a G. Shout out Eddie. That shit is
Shout out
fucking,
Eddie.
yeah. Um, that's what's up, dude. Oh, and my fucking bad, dude. Let's crack them open.
Let's crack a beer. I got something real special today.
You do?
I got a couple things.
Hell yeah.
We talked about this in an earlier episode. So I picked up a Radler.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah, this
Grapefruit?
is it's a lager with grapefruit and a hint of blood orange, by Two Pitchers Brewing. I'm not exactly sure. It says Two Pitchers Brewing Company, Potosi, Wisconsin, and San Carlos, California. And then it says established in Northern California. So I don't know. They're fucking all over the place, I guess. But I also got me a bottle of tequila here.
Dude, you're turning up. You knew it was taco day.
I knew it was taco day. I feel it in my bones.
That's what's up. I'm drinking a Singha.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna drop a shot of tequila in this here pint of beer.
You are?
Yeah.
Chug?
No, I'm not gonna chug it. I'm gonna savor it.
Okay. I think in honor of National Taco Day, we should rank our top 5 Mexican flatbreads. Or I feel like a lot of Mexican food, and this is not a shot, it's just like a lot of it is like the same ingredients but with different flatbread.
Okay.
Or sometimes curved bread.
Do we want to do bread? Maybe can we do our top 5 Mexican dishes?
You're really yanking my chain right now. Sure, we can.
You want to top? Do you have 5 Mexican flatbreads? Tortilla, a flour tortilla, a corn tortilla.
Yeah, those count.
Tostada.
I know you can name 5. They're not really. They are more like dishes.
Yeah.
Let's go dishes. Okay.
Okay.
You want to do 5? We'll do 5.
Let's do 5.
Blind ranking, or are we going to start with something?
We have 5 presidents now.
Yeah.
Our top, just not our Mount Rushmore, just our top 5 Mexican dishes.
I liked 5 for today. I don't know.
Okay. In honor of National Taco Day.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm spilling.
You just dropped a tequila shot in your Radler over there?
Yeah, I did.
Let's go.
Well, I didn't drop it in there, but hold on, I am making a mess though. I'll be right back.
Ronnie just spilled booze all over the place. He's hammered already. He came to the show hammered. Now it's just me and the audience, just getting to know each other. So I don't know. What do you guys want to know about me? I mean, here I am, just a boy in a room, just waiting for a boy, you know? And here he is.
Okay, real quick, and then we'll get back to the top 5 Mexican foods.
Okay.
So the tequila in the Radler. Years ago, I was at a Roger Waters show in Sacramento, and then after the show, we were just kind of like following the crowds, had no plans, and we ended up following this group of people a couple blocks, and then all of a sudden, just like a line was forming, and we didn't know what the line was forming for. We couldn't see the entrance, but people were just started standing in line, so we just jumped in line, and the line went like down this flight of stairs and then it kind of like wrapped around a quick like 90-degree corner. So we couldn't see what we were getting into, but there was somebody checking IDs at the door, so we knew it was going to be a good time. And so we waited in this line, and then when we finally came around the corner, it was a barcade, and it was popping. It was dope. It was awesome.
This is after the show.
After the show.
After the show.
And the bartender, I went up to get a drink, and the bartender was pouring a Radler from tap, and then he was also simultaneously pouring in tequila from a bottle. And I said, "Excuse me, bartender, what is that? I want it." And I don't remember what it was called, but it is delicious.
So, it was a good time, I bet.
It was a very good time.
That's awesome.
So that's what I'm rolling with.
Hell yeah.
Okay, back to...
shout out Roger Waters.
Yeah, absolutely. Back to top 5. 1-1's got to be tacos.
I don't think so.
What is it?
I was saying this today, honestly. I mean, and it goes along with my favorite Mexican flatbreads as well. I fucking love sopes, dude.
That's your 1-1 though?
That's my 1-1.
Okay.
I like the chew.
They're good.
I like the stack of shit, you know? It's all the things.
Yeah.
It's a super taco.
It is a...
I don't know. The jury's still out on if you're supposed to pick this thing up or not. I've picked up a lot of them.
Yeah.
It might be a fork and knife type food. I fucking love them. I didn't know we were going from 1 to 5 also. That seems out of order. But that's where I'm starting with sopes.
You're right.
Maybe we do no particular order.
You're right. Let's start at 5.
Okay. Ronnie.
My 1-1 is going to be tacos.
Okay. Tell me about why.
Because you can do it.
What do tacos mean to you in your heart?
Everything. You can have any kind of tacos. It doesn't even have to be Mexican. It can be, you can make a taco. You can make fucking Korean tacos, Indian tacos, fucking white boy tacos. It's just the perfect vessel. Yeah, tacos.
If you were to have one taco in your mouth hole right now, what would it be?
Like my 1-1 taco?
No, just the taco that you want in your mouth right now.
Oh, if I could have one right now?
In your mouth.
I'll take a Baja fish taco.
Ooh, I was thinking fish.
Were you?
Is that a crispy?
Yeah, it's a Baja fish taco. It's a San Diego thing. I think it's a Baja, California. Baja,
Mexico, probably.
Yeah.
So that's a region.
Yeah. But yeah, it's beer battered fish fried, and then it's got like a creamy cabbage slaw, and then it's got usually has some kind of it's like a cabbage slaw, and this is usually some kind of like a chipotle crema kind of, like a white crema. I don't know.
Nice.
It's kind of spiced, and then like a squeeze of lime. It's perfect.
That's awesome. We used to have these. They're so white boy, but we had these like crispy chicken tacos at Azul. That were so good, dude. And sometimes we do double crispy, where we had like crispy. We do like a crispy corn taco.
Okay.
That we had we would take First, we'd like dip the tortilla and make them like kind of soggy, oily, and then we'd assemble them with cheese in the middle and fold them in half, and then we put those into like a panini press,
Okay.
or not really panini, but like a flat press,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'd open them back up, so it'd be this like really like cheesy, crispy exterior, and then we'd make all sorts of tacos with that, and we put a crispy chicken in there
Okay.
with some hot sauce and some slaw.
Just trying to
And
follow this one.
that's more for the boys. That's more for the boys. I don't know that one was on the menu, but that for the boys for sure.
Got you. One of my, this is my, I don't know, maybe this should have been 1-1. I'm gonna say my,
They're all 1-1.
yeah, they're so good. California burrito. That's a San Diego classic. It is, what's that? Peace?
I was giving you peace sign.
Oh yeah. Do you know this one?
Yeah, I've had California burritos for sure.
Yeah. It's the perfect burrito. It is steak or carne asada, guacamole, cheese, sour cream, and French fries.
Is there no beans in that burrito?
No.
No beans. Or
No.
no rice.
No. Beans and rice do not belong in a burrito. I'll die on that hill.
I disagree. That's gonna be a hard disagree.
Well, you're wrong.
I think it's not a burrito without beans and rice.
No, well, I don't know what to tell you because you're wrong.
I mean, I understand the California burrito is something different, but I've literally never had a burrito outside of a California burrito that didn't have beans and rice in it. And I think that the rice serves such an important. It's so important because it soaks up all the liquids from the beans, because the beans are also super important.
Now, beans and rice are a side. You eat on the side.
No, that's gonna be a hard disagree.
Yeah, well, stay out of San Diego, I suppose.
Wait, they don't put beans and rice in burritos in San Diego?
No way, Jose.
I don't believe you.
It's true. And if they do, you're at the wrong spot.
I think you're eating a wrap, maybe. Maybe it was like you were at like a vegan spot and you got yourself like a kale wrap or something. Maybe that's what you're thinking of?
No, it's fucking a California burrito, carne asada burrito, like any of the burritos down there. Unless the only burrito that beans belong in is a bean and cheese burrito.
A super burrito?
No.
I've heard of a super burrito before.
You're wrong.
A bean and cheese, just like...
It's just refried beans.
Like Taco Bell style?
Yeah, refried beans and cheese. Loaded up in a burrito. Real good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a burrito until you put rice in it, but it's a good start. It's a good start.
I will have rice and beans inside my burrito when I go to Chipotle, but then it's also not real Mexican food. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, they did invent burritos, but...
They didn't. Absolutely not.
Okay, what do we got? 2 right now? We got 3.
Yeah, I got a California burrito.
You went back to back, I feel.
I got California burrito and tacos. Yeah, I did.
We're doing snake draft?
What do you go? Snake draft. You got the next 2.
We're just making up rules as we go.
I mean, your top 5 could also include burritos and tacos.
Oh, it's like that? No, I want to keep dishes. I want to keep them separate.
We're only putting 5 on here?
Should we just name all the Mexican food that we can think of?
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
I'm gonna
go.
Be on my list of favorite things too.
I mean, the dirtiest of the dirty, the chimichanga.
That is.
It's so dirty. It's filthy.
When was the last time you had a chimichanga?
Oof. Not recently.
Yeah.
It's like once you hit 30, it's like hard to order a chimichanga, you know? There's a lot of judgment that goes along with the chimichanga, I feel.
As there should be.
Dude, shout out El Burrito Monster, though.
El Burrito Monster?
Dude, I send you his clips on Instagram all the time. It's the dude who, like, takes the most ridiculous shit and he wraps it in other ridiculous... It's like...
Oh yeah.
It's like a more thoughtful version of Epic Mealtime, basically.
Yeah, he makes like these really elaborate burritos like from scratch, and then will like I saw one he like makes this huge burrito and then he like chops it all up, puts it in a dehydrator, dehydrates it, like blends it up, uses it as like the breading for the next thing. Basically like makes like a whole nother burrito and then like breads it in the burrito breadcrumbs and then like deep fries that thing. That is fucking crazy.
But it looks good though. Like it's not like
It does look good. I mean,
like it is gimmicky because you're watching him do ridiculous stuff, but like he definitely knows what he's doing.
oh, for sure. He definitely does.
Dude, that one I sent you the other day, he had like he was collabing with someone and he had like crispy Korean pork that he wrapped up in what like a spring roll that he made like a crispy spring roll, and then you like wrapped that in it made like a sushi roll out of that with like all sorts of shit in there. Rolled that up into a giant sushi roll, and then wrap
that in like a what is it though, like rice paper, like or the
yeah.
like the fresh what are those things called? Hey, it is rice paper.
It's what they use for a spring roll, right?
Yeah, like the fresh spring rolls.
Right. And then wrap that up, deep fried that. There was a salad on the outside somehow.
That was like the fresh spring roll that I'm talking about on the outside, where it's like that rice paper that you like soak in water.
Yeah,
it turns into like almost like a noodle consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so fucking good. I mean, I don't know. Looked really fucking good though.
It looked good. It looked really hard to eat too.
Yeah, there's no way that motherfucker can eat that food.
No,
he can't eat it. Like no, like it's like it looked like it was
the size
like
of a baby.
3 pounds of food probably.
Easily.
Always with a dip on the side too. Yeah. So chimichangas are ridiculous. Tostadas, they belong on the list.
Yeah.
I feel like we're only in flatbread land, where really we can go to some other places. Probably.
What is the sandwich?
Oh, the torta.
Torta. That is it. Dude,
That's a banger, dude. For sure.
Torta is a great sandwich.
For sure. So good.
Yeah.
Beans on that.
You get a good one. Good ones are really good. I also really enjoy like a chili verde with like the cubed up pork, and then just kind of like in the salsa verde, and then you get like a side of rice and beans with it.
I've heard that called
solid
chili Colorado. Is that a?
That's the same thing, but it's like a red salsa that it's braised in.
Oh, I thought that was the green one.
No,
gotcha.
Green one's the chili verde.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Congratulations, Mexico, because we're all winners, you know?
Yeah, I think at least 2 of those things were not Mexican dishes.
California burrito without rice or beans.
A fucking chimichanga, man. You say
it's America.
Anyway,
they're cool.
I wanted to put a pin in the you were talking about the rolling out tortillas.
Yeah.
And I asked about the tortilla press. And lately I've been seeing this thing where they like I'm not exactly sure what all goes into it, but you press like a shrimp or like a squid in one of those, and then it basically like flattens to like a cracker, and then you like fry it up or something like that, and then you get this like super flat squid cracker chip. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Like the tube part of a column. Is that what you're picturing?
What's that?
Like the tube, like a tube squid. Tube squid. That's a species of squid. It's called tube squid.
Tube squid.
Yeah.
Now I'm not finding what I'm looking for.
I'll look up tube squid while you're looking that up.
Dude, now I'm not seeing anything that I'm looking for.
That's not safe for work at all.
Search tube steak.
It's a family pod, Ronnie. God damn it. Turbo squid. What are you, turbo squid?
Ugh, I can't find what I'm looking for at all. This is frustrating.
It's okay, man. I'm here for you, buddy.
Apparently, I just imagined what I was talking about. No, there is some kind of like, I'm not sure if you put down the dough or something like that, and then the like shrimp, or I've seen it with squid, and they press it on the tortilla press and it flattens into like a cracker, and then they, I don't know, cook it in some way or another, and then it's just this like whole shrimp cracker.
How big are we talking, diameter wise?
Well, I don't. I mean, you see how stretched out like a small piece of dough for flour
Sure.
for a tortilla gets. So, I mean, put a whole shrimp in there.
It's only the shrimp, or shrimp and?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out now. I think it's like some kind of like
Gotcha.
a fucking.
Gotcha. Sounds tasty. A little crispy bites.
I found it.
Found it. You got a name for it?
Oh, so it looks like it.
So yeah. Oh, it's massive. So this squid is like, I don't know, what is it? Probably like, looks like it's 2 pounds. It's probably like, I don't know, 8 inches by like 12 inches. It's kind of, it's like, looks like it's like, but I guess you would call that butterflied open.
Yeah, it's
Right,
almost
with like the tentacles at the bottom, and then
it's almost like he's putting it like on like a t-shirt press. It's like it's
yeah, this is a big press. This whole thing is probably like what, like 24 inches by 20 by like 18 inches maybe of a press. It's a big thing, and it's maybe just floured. It looks like.
yeah. So this thing is more than what I was thinking it was. It's more of like a it's more of like a giant panini press or something. They put like the whole
Yeah,
squid inside of it. They flatten it. They like dredge it in something, put it in there, flatten it, and it cooks as it's in there, and it
yeah.
comes out like flat and crispy.
It looks dope because and then they're serving it like chopped up into like rectangles basically, or however it gets chopped up. But like,
Yeah, and even that's like a really big version of what I've seen. Oh, maybe this is more what I was talking about.
this is Japanese. We're back to Japan.
Yeah.
they always got the weird fish stuff, dude. For
Yeah,
sure.
I think this is more of the one I was talking about, where it does have some kind of a batter.
Yeah, gotcha.
Okay.
This is kind of what I was picturing, and I feel like this is something that I've seen before because he's like ladling like basically like thin pancake batter down. This one he's plopping a soft shell crab into there with
And a
some
squid.
squid and a squid and a shrimp
And a shrimp.
and ladling more batter on top of this. And then he's
Interesting.
gonna flatten this whole thing. Wow, that's pretty cool. Does this have a name? It's just, what's it called? Seafood cracker? This is not a seafood cracker that I would picture.
Yeah. Well, there's a little bit of a name on there. Saku something.
Yeah, and this thing is probably what now, like
It's big.
it's got to be at least 12 by 12, if not like 14 inches.
It's kind of
And
pretty,
it's
honestly.
square. The press is square, and they are painting now a glaze on top of it, soy based, presumably. That looks bomb. Try it.
What an absurd way to serve this thing. They just
Yeah. Japanese paper thin seafood cracker.
That's dope.
Looks really great.
Okay.
Dude, they got the most interesting fucking shit. It's so fun.
Super
Nice.
fun.
That's awesome.
I'm glad I found that and I wasn't just imagining it.
Yeah.
I have seen like a smaller version of that where it's, you know, more manageable. The one that we just saw, it's got to be like, I don't know, like a 16 by 18 size like sheet. Like it was it was pretty big.
Yeah, that was massive. I feel like the one I was picturing would be like a round circle.
Mm-hmm. That's how I've seen it.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, like I was saying, we were kind of just together. Have you got a chance to get into the kitchen at all in the past few days?
At home, I made just some like classic peppers and onions, or sorry, sausage and peppers at home. Um,
Nice. Like Italian, like a New York street style. Nice. Red sauce.
didn't have it on like a sandwich or anything this time. Just had some like bread rolls on the side. But yeah,
Nice.
just made yeah, seared
Bell
off the
peppers.
yeah, just seared off the sausage. Then threw in peppers and onions and some can of tomatoes. Kind of just let it go to town. Threw the sausage back in there. Let it simmer on low for an hour and a half or so. Just like yeah, ate it with some bread rolls. It was good, really good. So like one of my favorite like classic like comfort foods.
Would That's awesome, man. I feel like I haven't had that in such a long time,
Such
and
a
it's
banger.
definitely something that it's kind of like almost a ballpark food for me, but I like also feel like it's not what I would get typically when I go to the ballpark. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's obviously it's great on bread as a sandwich. Like sometimes I like to take some ricotta and like smear it on there and throw the sausage. This time I sliced up the pepper or the sausage and just kind of ate a bowl of it, some cheese sprinkled on top, and then the bread on the side to sop up the sauce. But I mean, any way you slice it, it's good. I love it.
that's good. Like spicy Italian or just mild Italian sausage or
Th-
combo of both or
That's a good question. I think they were mild Italian sausages, although I always throw some chili flakes in my sauce, so had a little bit of a bite to it. What
nice.
about you?
Um,
Well, I guess you did your
yeah, really just taco stuff. Yeah, I'm not. There's nothing really else to write home about, but yeah, I was like, it is so fun how like the pod is like. I was like, yeah, it's whatever. I haven't really cooked that much this week, like, but then I'm like, I guess I'll bang out some tortillas right now and something to talk about, and not to mention I get to share it and we get to eat it, and it's just like, um, it's a nice motivation to stay active in there. It's really nice.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, I've mentioned before, but I've just been so busy with between my two jobs right now that like I haven't had the free time to cook at home as much as I had been. Um, so definitely cherish the times that I do get to cook, and
But
it's
you're also working now and like cooking at work and having some opportunity um, to have some creative freedom in that realm
yeah,
as well, right?
yeah. That is true. That is true. Yeah.
Do you want to tell the audience about what you texted me earlier today?
Yeah, we can get into it a little bit. There's just still so many things that need to happen in order for this thing to happen, and also I don't know if I want it.
It's just
Um,
a thought experiment.
yeah,
I think we can just play it as what it is right now, which is kind of just a thought experiment. And yeah, you're right. A lot of cookies have to crumble the right way. That's not an expression, but we'll go with it.
yeah. A lot of cookies have to crumble my way, and um, no. So like the restaurant I'm working at now, like the owners just kind of have their hands in like a lot of different pots right now, and like um, lots of places in the works of opening, lots of places like that they were like trying to get bids for to be a part of, and they're all fairly different from one another. They'll all be like under the same, I believe, the same like umbrella name, but they're all going to be pretty different. So I'm working at it's a coffee shop cafe, um, and like a lot of what we do right now is like prep, you know, sandwiches and like breakfast burritos and um, I don't know, parfaits and pastries and like all kinds of stuff, and it goes to this like corporate facility, and they have like a coffee like truck there, and then they sell a lot of these pre-made things like out of the truck. Um, but this corporate building is undergoing some like major transformations, and they're building like a giant like cafeteria uh, for the employees of this building. And in part of that, so that like there's a bunch of like big names that are trying to win this bid to like be able to run the cafeteria, like big names like R Mark and like, whatever corporate um, food service companies. But then like because they've built a relationship with like the coffee cart, and we do a lot of catering for their like office meetings and stuff like that, they've been allowed to kind of also put in a bid and be heard out for, or I guess like interviewed for, I don't know, considered is the word. They've also been, they're being considered to take control of this big ass cafeteria, which would be like a huge contract for one for them. Um, and if it goes through, the plan would be that they'd be able to provide health insurance for all their employees and like paid days off, and it'd be a good thing like across the board for an otherwise like small mom and pop coffee shop. Um, and and then they also have like other facilities that are underway. There's like I think it's like along the lines of a food hall. This new building that's going up, and they are going. Supposedly, they're already. I mean, when you go on this food hall's website, their name is already on there. Um, so they've got their hands in that. That's going to be opening as well. So today, the owner, he was like, I. So I think he's. I don't want to say that they're over their head in going into this cafeteria, but like certainly, like I've never taken on something that big, and neither have they. So it's like it's a big undertaking, and I was talking about Plump Jack to one of my coworkers, and I mentioned that it was a hotel as well as a restaurant, and he was like, "Oh, you've worked in a hotel?" He's like, "That sounds like you'd be the perfect person for this giant cafeteria." And I was like, I don't. I don't really see the correlation. Well, I guess it started because I was saying like the ideal candidate for the job would be somebody that's run a massive hotel or casino, or like something along those lines where
Sure.
they're pumping out like food for 5, 6, 700 people a day.
Right.
um
And understands like the um I don't want to say like corners to cut, but like there obviously you're going to have to sacrifice some stuff along the way because you have to be able to produce a lot of volume, right? So like and so you need to like having experience in that realm where you're like, okay, I know like I can be really efficient in this area and still put out a really good product because you just like know the stuff. You know that like you can make a really good sandwich and that's easier. Maybe it's not. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can go for it, but like also just like when a higher up or the other company is like, hey, I want you to do this, well then you could be like, well, like these are the challenges with that exact thing, or how about we do this instead because this will be better for X, Y, and Z. And yeah, you're right, like
right.
that is super important. So
Yeah, it's just a totally different animal.
yeah,
Like you're not cooking a la carte, like, or a la minute, I guess I should say. You're not cooking like to order. And certain things like there's like a wood fire pizza station, and there's like I don't know, there's a bunch of different like stations, and like yeah, certain things that kind of are being like kind of prepared to order ish, but it's not like from scratch. Um, at least on the pickup, like I don't know. You're probably not even like cooking a burger to order. I wouldn't think. I mean,
maybe if
maybe.
it's a smash burger, maybe,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you're sandbagging a little bit.
These are it's kind of more along the lines of like yeah, like cafeteria, like lunch break, you go to the cafeteria, what are we serving today? We've got fucking, pizza today. And it's like it's done, ready. Maybe this will be a bit different than that and a bit more upscale than that, but either way, like the volume that you're talking about, like I'm sure could I figure it out? Like, yeah, I'm sure I could, but like, am I qualified to step into a position like that? No fucking way. And to be honest, I don't think I want to. I don't think that's really like of any interest to me. Um, but like, So he was, he's like, Ronnie, sounds like you'd be perfect for this position. I was like, yeah, no, I don't think so. I'm not really interested. And it's also kind of a far drive for me. But one of the other cooks, he's very close to that facility. And he was like, well, he's like, this other cook, he's going to be working at this other facility that is also in the works, which happens to be very close to where I live. And it was like, well, we can switch. I'll take this one. He could take that one. And I was kind of like agreed upon really quickly. And so I was like, well, shit, like I don't really know. But now I've got, the wheels are turning in my head. And I'm like, well, what if? And then so I messaged Brian, and then Brian asked if he could have a job. And so now Brian's moving to Raleigh. And
Yeah,
we're
gonna be
opening a
lunch
restaurant
ladies.
together.
Yeah, we're lunch ladies.
No, we're not going to work. It's not a cafeteria. We'll have, well, if things go the right way, and if I do agree to this, then it would be more of like the food hall kind of situation. But there's like a beer and wine program there. It's more upscale than like the cafe that I'm working at now.
So I mean, similar to we were at the Ark, right? That's a lodge at Squaw. We did like big numbers. We were doing like 30 grand in 4 hours, basically. Like it's got to be like similar numbers to that ish. Did you get any sort of numbers as far as either heads or revenue dollars? I guess you could expect.
So the food will all be paid for by the company. So that's why it's a contract. Like they're going to be paid out like an X amount of dollars a year just to operate there, and then within that money you have to operate within your food costs and your overhead and everything else.
So is food free for the employees?
For the employees, yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know
totally different beast. Yeah.
And they can come back as many times as they want, presumably, right?
Maybe, or maybe they're limited. I have no idea.
Like a food plan, you scan your tag one time per day, and yeah.
That's probably more like what it is.
And they're gonna have a coffee shop there as well.
So they have the coffee shop now. I don't know if that's going to remain open, and they'll have the cafeteria. I don't know. Maybe they'll just have coffee service in the cafeteria. Dude, there's so much that's like up in the air that I don't know about, and so many questions that I need answered before I agree to doing anything.
I mean, there's a lot of hiring to do, right? I mean, you can't serve that many people without a staff of like, what is it one meal or is it multiple meals? Is it like lunch and dinner?
I have no idea.
Yeah, right?
I would imagine it's not dinner. Well, I don't know. Maybe
it could be like breakfast. Like you could do like
they could have a night shift.
It could just be open the entire time when they're there, and they just go whenever they want, right? I mean, there's like so many different ways that the cookie could be crumbled, and they got to crumble your way.
Got to crumble your way, and I don't want anything to do with an operation of that size.
I mean, dude, you have to have 20 employees to do that shit, right? Like
or more.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I would imagine 20 to 30 employees. I have no idea.
Dude, I'm gonna fucking wash the shit out of those dishes, though, boss. I'm ready to scrub.
I hope you are.
Ready to scrub, boss.
Yeah, I'm trying to like refrain from saying any names. The restaurant that I could be potentially taking over, it would be a much smaller operation than the cafeteria. We'll probably have, under 8 to 10 employees, I would say. Dude, the less employees we have, the better, honestly. As long as all the stations are filled, or all the positions, rather.
Yeah, tell me. So, tell me about that situation.
In what way?
Small restaurant thingy, like, what's that like relative to? Yeah, what's it like?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the layout of the building or anything yet.
It's a restaurant.
Yeah, it's a restaurant. It's being built right now. I don't think there's going to be a walk-in, unfortunately. So they're just going to have, large refrigerators, which is what we have now. And I really dislike working out of them. They're just, well, I mean, they could be better. They're just disorganized, and there's ways that they could be improved upon for sure.
Couldn't we all just be a little better every once in a while,
Dude, what's tough about it is that you can't just take like full sheet trays and put them in the walk-in to cool or whatever.
Sure.
That's where it's really tough.
Yeah, for sure.
Very limited space.
Do they have one of those or I mean, the walk-ins where it has like a sheet tray, or not walk-ins, but reach-ins that has like a sheet tray rack inside of it? Those are the best.
I don't know, but I should talk to the owner before they purchase anything, that if that's the direction they're going to go, that they should definitely invest in some of those.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I mean, they just seem so busy and cranking stuff out. I mean, they must like be in the ear of the right people, or I mean, just really motivated and good. It seems like you speak highly of them, and that's awesome for them. And sounds like they're on the path to, I don't know, doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and then when place opens and you move to Raleigh, and then we'll get to work together once again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wherever. I'm gonna get right on those dishes, boss. No problem.
Do we want to get into some idiots? Brian was hot when we got on.
No, I wasn't hot.
He was hot.
I was busy.
Shaking.
I was busy. So I like barely made it up in time for pod time. I was late, actually. I was probably 2 minutes late. Food went out.
That's not gonna
late to the table.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now that those dishes aren't gonna wash themselves. And I'm not gonna tolerate that shit.
Idiot sandwich.
Marching your ass right back to Charlotte.
What are you? Idiot.
You stupid idiot.
I'm an idiot sandwich.
You're an idiot.
Of all the idiots, you stand alone.
This is at a restaurant. I was the sous chef, and I asked this younger cook to peel some purple carrots. If you don't know, like when you cut into a purple carrot, the core of the carrot is yellow, and then the outer ring of it is purple. And yeah, they're nice. They're really, really pretty. I asked this cook to peel them and blanch them, and he brings them back to me, and they're now just yellow carrots, and they're thin, like pencil size thin. I was like, what the fuck happened? And why did this take you so long? This cook had peeled off all the purple on the carrots, and he just thought it was like really thick skin on them or something. So idiot sandwich goes to that kid for turning the purple carrots yellow.
Fucking that kid, dude.
Peeling off all of the purple.
That's so good. You got a name?
Let's call him Daryl.
Daryl. Congratulations, Daryl. Daryl?
Daryl?
You say it like that? I think it's one syllable. I think that's a one syllable name.
Daryl?
Daryl. Daryl.
Fucking dummy.
Yeah, sorry, bro. Or congratulations. However you want to take that. I was hot today, and I'll tell you why. Because I was contemplating while I was at work. I was like already planning. I was going to go to the store. I was going to pick up the stuff that I needed to make these tacos, right? I knew that I had a fair amount of stuff. I came home first just to double check, see if I didn't want to double buy anything. I got a very small list together, right? It's red onion, cilantro, queso fresco. That's it. There was one other thing on the list. So it wasn't even important. It's like basically those three things.
Okay.
And so the closest supermarket to my house is the Food Lion. It's very close. And I mean, full disclosure, not my favorite grocery store.
No.
It's okay. It has the things you need. It's relatively inexpensive, which I do like. But not always all the things you need. But since it's so close, I mean, when you need something quick, a little baking item, a little this, a little that, you go grab it. And I get there and grabbing stuff. I didn't even grab a basket. I was just like in my hand. I had like a red onion. Oh, the fourth thing I needed was limes. So I had a red onion in my hand. I was also holding like 2 or 3 like limes in my hand. And I'm like at the produce. I'm still at the produce section, and I just like see the parsley. There's just fucking no cilantro there. And I'm like, like you ever do this when you're at the store when you're just like
fucking worst.
You're in disbelief that they don't have the thing.
Yeah.
So like I'm like, it's taken me like 10 minutes.
Put a pin in that.
I like
put a pin in it.
I was in it, right? And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, there's no way that they don't have this thing. And I'm like pacing, right? I'm like walking up produce, back down produce. I'm like, there's no way that they don't have a bunch of cilantro here, right? Probably 10 minutes later of me like huffing and puffing. There's no cilantro at this supermarket. So I was like, what am I going to do? Should I just not get cilantro? I mean, there's options, right? Because they put like their shitty like jarred cilantro. It's gross. I'm like, no, I'm not. I can't do that. It's National Taco Day. Let's be real. So I put the red onion down. I put the lime down, and I walk out the entrance because I was being a badass, walk back out to my car, and I drive to the other Food Lion. Luckily, is, I don't know, let's say 7 miles away from this Food Lion. Still pretty close to my house. Get there, walk in, see red onions, grab a red onion, grab some limes, get over there to the herb section. Literally one bunch of cilantro on the shelf over there. That's all I needed. Grab that. And then I start walking over towards the dairy section. And fucking, I mean, I don't know if it's just Food Lion, but they have to like separate like all the cheese is in 8 different places, right? It's like,
yeah, it's the
they
worst.
got like the really like low income cheese in one area next to the bologna. Then they have like the kind of like blocked cheddar shit in one area, right? And then they have like a really like almost high end cheese section where they're like everything comes in a wedge.
Yeah.
And there's even like another section.
And that's on the other side of the store. It's like in a fucking little like carousel kind of cooler. That's like by the bakery.
Yeah, they're not close to each other at
ridiculous.
All. So again, I'm bouncing from cheese section to cheese section because there's no goddamn queso fresco anywhere. And I'm like at the low income section. I'm back there. I'm like checking that out, like fucking bunch of American cheese and whatever, Oscar Mayer's bullshit. And then I get over to, where I think it should be is like where the block of mozzarella cheese is. I'm like, this is probably our best bet right here. And I'm there, and again, like disbelief, like pacing past it, like get a little too far. You're by the butter, go back, pace past that, and you're back at the milk section. You're like, what is going on? And then back over to where the meat is, because you never know, right? And all this to say that I left the Food Lion without queso fresco. So my idiot sandwich goes to the fucking regional buyer of Food Lion Charlotte because they're a fucking idiot and they need to have cilantro and queso fresco on National Taco Day.
Yeah, idiot. Fuck that guy.
I don't have a name.
It's probably Jerry.
Maybe I will take some responsibility. Like it's pretty late in the day. It's National Taco Day. Maybe it's a little feeding frenzy. Maybe the sharks were out biting. But I'm disappointed. You should have known that shit was coming like a flood.
Dude, I hate Food Lion. It's the worst.
Yeah.
And like
tell
you,
me about it.
It's a fucking gnat in here. Get out of here. Like you, it's
Get out of there, Nat.
Yeah, it's the closest grocery store to me. And so last night when I made the sausage and peppers, I was like, oh, I'm gonna run out and grab grab a loaf of Italian bread from the bakery section.
It's
And
easy.
I went there.
Simple enough.
Oh yeah, really easy. Fucking go over there. The whole bread, like house baked bread section is fucking empty. There's not a goddamn thing on any of the shelves in there. Not a fucking French baguettes, no garlic breads, no like even cupcake,
Yeah.
and house made nothing. There wasn't a single fucking thing in there. So I ended up having to go to the freezer section and get some like yeast rolls, yeast rolls, which is why I didn't eat the sausages in a sandwich or with any Italian bread.
I'm sorry, dude. That pains me to hear you.
It's the worst.
To hear you like that.
Same.
Yeah, and then like it's like the other
I
supermarket.
feel your pain.
The other we do hit TJ's a little bit. I like some TJ's, but they're limited, so like it's really like if you need something not specialty, it's a good place to get a lot of stuff, but like it's not really something when you need something you go to. The other option besides Food Lion is often Harris Teeter, which they do, to their credit, have all the things from what I can tell. But it's fucking
produce
it's
is
3 or 4
so
times the
expensive.
expensive as
It's
Food Lion.
insane.
And I don't think it's much better. It's just like
No.
it's just more expensive. And they put a little more lipstick on the pig, I think. They have a little like
Yeah.
neater of aisles maybe, and they have like better displays, but like the food is still the same. I mean, it's regular grocery store food, but it's super expensive. And you walk out of there for, I feel like $30 worth of groceries, you'd be like at $70 real quick.
Food Lion doesn't put any lipstick on their pig.
It's just pig.
Their pig is wearing fucking Cookie Monster pajamas.
Pig, just a pig and shit, dude. Smoking fucking ciggies. Yeah.
God damn it. Do you got a tip for our listeners today?
Just the
Whip Cream Salmon School for Cooks That Don't Cook Good.
Yeah. I do, and I experienced both these things today, and I wanted to talk about them. It's kind of a double, so I hope I'm not stepping on your toes.
Okay.
Do you want to go first because I have a double?
No, you go ahead.
They're very closely related, and the tip for the cooks who don't cook good is rest your shit. The reason it's a double is because I was rolling out tortillas. And
Okay.
when you're working with dough, specifically things that you have to like roll out to be flat, oftentimes it's a 2-step process, right? You're like rolling it out, and then when you're working the dough a lot, it tightens up really quickly, right? And then so often you can't even really roll it out to flat. Sometimes it's like a 2-stepper, or often really you're like maybe you're balling the things up, you portioned them, you're working with them a lot, and then you have to like let it sit for a while.
Okay.
Come back to it in like a half hour, and you can roll it out, and it's loosened up, and you can actually get it to be flat. This was almost a 3-stepper where I was like, I kind of quickly portioned everything, and then I like half rolled, and then I like started back again at the start of the line and ended at the start. It was cyclical.
Okay.
I got back to the beginning and was able to roll them out quickly. So my tip for that is just like, don't break your back trying to keep rolling out the thing that's just snapping back to be really small. Let it rest for a second. Let it relax, and then you'll be able to roll it out nice. That goes for tortillas, but can go for a lot of different things where wheat is the main ingredient. And the other is rest your meat. I had some steak that I was cooking up for this, and boy, is it common to like. I know, like I feel like a lot of people hear like, oh, I should rest this, but they like it doesn't like set in as something that they really like need to do, and it's like it's a real need. Like you're gonna like you could have done the best job seasoning the thing, cooking the thing. It could be perfect. If you take it off the grill or whatever and you just chop it right up, you lost it, and it's shitty now. So it does depend on like how big the thing is, right? It's like if it's a turkey, right, you probably want to let that thing rest for 30 minutes plus. If it's really small steak, maybe only 5 minutes. If it's a piece of fish, maybe only 2 minutes. Like it really does depend on what it is, but especially with like, I don't know, I would say like normal size stuff, which would be like maybe like a pork chop or like a small steak or something like that. Like let it rest, give it 10 to 12 minutes before you slice it, and you'll be a lot happier when you did. A lot less juices are going to end up on the table. Not to mention, like, if you cook a steak to like a perfect medium rare, but then you slice it too early, well, the center's probably going to be more raw than you want it to be, and it's just not going to be that good. So yeah, rest your shit.
Those are great tips, and I got a little nervous there for a second because I thought that maybe you were going to steal my tip. Very close.
Okay.
In the same vein of resting your meat before you cook your meat, pull it out and let the meat rest and come to room temperature before you cook something, specifically when you're cooking something to temp. It's not something I always do, especially if I'm just like cooking like a chicken thigh or something that I'm cooking all the way through. But if I'm cooking a nice steak, definitely want to pull that out and let it rest on the countertop. You can season it ahead of time and let the meat come to temperature, room temp. And the reason for doing that is that if you're cooking, you're trying to get a sear on a steak, and that steak is cold, and the center of it is, at 37 degrees or something coming out of the fridge, and you're searing the outside of it, it's going to take a lot more time for that heat to penetrate to the center of the steak. And what often will happen is you'll overcook the outside. So, the first couple centimeters of your steak, as you cut in from, the outside, will be well done. And then the center of it will be very rare or medium rare. And it won't be an overall great dining experience. Whereas if you just let that thing come to temperature, sit on your counter for a half hour, season it ahead of time, and then throw it on the grill, you'll have a much more even cook through your meat.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Agreed. That's a hard agree on that one for sure.
Yeah.
Rest your meat, take it out early, let it sit out late,
Yeah. Take it out early, leave it out late.
That's not a saying either, but
it is now.
Maybe if we got a big enough audience,
put it on a t-shirt.
People will be saying that all the time.
Take it out early, leave it out late.
Yeah. Merch. Watch out for the merch, y'all.
Yeah. Well,
thanks for tuning in, y'all. Yeah, and I think that brings us to the end of our episode. So thanks, everyone, for listening, and we love you.
We do. Like, subscribe.
Rate.
Email us, whipcreamsalmon@gmail.com.
At Whip Cream Salmon.
Visit us on our Instagram, Whip Cream Salmon. Say what's up.
Add us.
Yeah, and
that's what people say, right?
Yeah. Send us more idiot sandwiches.
Skibbity.
What?
Skibbity.
Is that what kids are saying now?
I just made it up.
I don't think you did. Love you guys.
Love y'all. Peace.